In Washington, legislative battles usually end when a bill is defeated. But occasionally, a piece of a bill simply refuses to die. Following massive backlash from Republican senators, the U.S. President administration was forced to drop its highly controversial plan to establish a $1.8 billion compensation fund for individuals claiming to be victims of a weaponized government. It seemed like a victory for fiscal responsibility. However, The Guardian revealed a hilarious, villainous twist. While the massive payout fund was killed, the specialized clause granting U.S. President, his family, and his business entities total immunity from IRS audits was quietly fought for and kept alive. According to reports from Reuters and The Guardian, the multi-billion-dollar anti-weaponization fund was successfully scrapped after conservative lawmakers questioned the massive taxpayer burden of funding the president's personal legal grievances. Washington insiders declared the controversial initiative dead. However, critics were quick to point out that the legislative negotiations mysteriously managed to preserve the exact provisions that shield the president's personal and corporate tax returns from standard Internal Revenue Service scrutiny, raising massive questions about federal accountability and the true purpose of the original bill. This is the ultimate masterpiece of political misdirection. The administration essentially ordered a massive, incredibly expensive steak dinner on the taxpayer's credit card. When the public complained about the price, they generously agreed to cancel the steak, but quietly kept the $1 million bottle of wine. By framing the entire debate around the $1.8 billion fund, IRS Audit Shield Fund, the administration successfully distracted everyone from the real prize, permanent tax immunity. It is a brilliant, terrifying economic maneuver that ensures the working class continues to face rigorous IRS audits while the executive branch builds an impenetrable legal fortress around its own wealth. The legislative process looks exactly like the climax of a medieval monster hunting movie. The scene opens in the Senate chamber. A heroic group of lawmakers raise their swords and successfully chop the head off a giant, fire-breathing dragon labeled the $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. The crowd cheers wildly, celebrating their fiscal victory. But then, the camera pans down to the floor. The dragon's severed tail, clearly labeled IRS audit immunity, is still aggressively wiggling around on the carpet. U.S. President walks over, picks up the tail, smiles, and starts petting it like a new puppy. A White House accountant leans in and whispers, "Proved that you don't need a billion-dollar fund to win a fight in Washington. You just need everyone to look at the shiny distraction while you quietly slip the IRS shield into your back pocket and walk out the door."